Orúkọ mi ni Dúpẹ́ Onítìrí Abíọ́lá. Ọmọ Onítìrí Èkó, opó olóògbé MKO Abíọ́lá. Mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá káàkiri àgbáyé. Mo kí ọkùnrin, mo kí obìnrin, mo kí ọmọdé, mo kí àgbàlagbà, mo kí arúgbó. Mo fẹ́ kí gbogbo àwa tá a pé ní tòótọ́ àti lódodo a fẹ́ òmìnira Yorùbá ní 2022. Mo fẹ́ ká lọ sign sí 5 million signatures tá a fẹ́ ṣe ti Yorùbá 2022, òmìnira Yorùbá 2022. Mo fẹ́ ká lọ sign sí. Ẹ lọ tí bàbá ṣe àpèjúwe, ẹ lọ sign. Ẹ má sign ní fake o. Èyí tó jẹ́ láti ọ̀dọ̀ tiwa nìkan, tó ní orúkọ Ọlọ́run, tó ní orúkọ èmi Dúpẹ́ Onítìrí Abíọ́lá nú, pẹ̀lú àwọn èèyàn tá a jọ ń ṣe, àwọn pàtàkì tá a jọ ń ṣe, òun ni kẹ́ ẹ lọ ṣe o. Tẹ́ ẹ bá ti rí orúkọ èmi mo Dúpẹ́ Onítìrí Abíọ́lá, Dúpẹ́ Onítìrí Abíọ́lá nínú ẹ̀, ẹ má lọ síbẹ̀. Tí ó bá kí n ṣe site òmìnira Yorùbá 2022, Yorùbá Freedom 2022, ẹ má bá wọn débẹ̀ o. Tẹ́ bá ti lọ síbẹ̀, ẹ ti rí oríṣiríṣi nǹkan tó máa fi jẹ́ kẹ́ mọ̀ pé site òótọ́ ni, kò kí ń ṣe rọ́. Ẹ má lọ sọ́dọ̀ àwọn ẹlẹ́tàn torí àwọn ọ̀tá pọ̀ tí wọ́n fẹ́ kó wá sí ìmúṣẹ. Yorùbá tẹ́ mọ̀ pé ẹ fẹ́ kó wá sí ìmúṣẹ, ẹ dúró sórí òótọ́, ẹ lọ síbi tó yà ní kẹ́ lọ, ẹ lọ sign. Nǹkan tó wà ń bẹ̀ ni pé ẹ fẹ́ béèrè lọ́wọ́ mi pé kí ló dé tẹ́ ṣe máa sign. Ṣé mọ̀ pé mo sọ pé a lè ní dádúró ká ní òmìnira láì jagun, láì tẹ̀jẹ̀ sílẹ̀, láì sí wàhálà. Ẹ̀tọ́ wa ni right to self-determination. Ẹ̀tọ́ wa ni àbá ẹnikẹ́ni jà, àbá Hausa jà, àbá Fúlàní jà, àbá Ìgbò jà, àbá Ògbóni jà, àbá ẹnikẹ́ni jà, àbá Yorùbá ara wa gan jà. Tiwa ṣáà ní pé kí Yorùbá kó ní òmìnira ní 2022 tá a wà nù ẹ̀. Ẹ̀tọ́ wa ni, Ọlọ́run ló ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀. Ọlọ́run ló dá wa ní ethnic nationality. Ó dá wa ní pẹ̀lú èdè kan, ìwà kan, àṣà kan, origin kan, gbogbo ẹ̀ ló dá wa. Ó dẹ̀ fi wá sí àyè tó wù ú láti fi wá sí ní àyè tá a wà ní orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá tí àgbáyé mọ̀ sí south western part of Nigeria. Òun ni Yorùbá wà. A lọ bèrè ilẹ̀ ẹnikẹ́ni o. A lọ sọ́dọ̀ ẹnikẹ́ni. Tí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá òun ni. A dẹ̀ fẹ́ kí everybody co respect the fact that a ní right to self-determination. A fẹ́ kí Ìgbò, Hausa, Fúlàní, Yorùbá, everybody, the entire world, co respect right wa to self-determination. And our intention ni láti ṣe peacefully. Very, very peacefully, without violence. So ní agbára ti Ọlọ́run, ìgbésẹ̀ ilé ó wà nínú ìgbésẹ̀ tá a máa gbé láti ṣe peacefully. Tá a bá ti sign 5 million signatures yìí, à ń sọ fún àgbáyé ni pé à ń fi ohùn wa, torí ẹnu èèyàn lèèyàn máa fi ń kọ méje, ẹnu èèyàn náà lèèyàn máa fi ń sọ nǹkan tó fẹ́. So ayé ò mọ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀, a fẹ́ sọ fún ayé ni. A fẹ́ sọ fún àgbáyé, lọ́kùnrin, lóbìnrin, lọ́mọdé, lágbà, lárúgbó, káàkiri àgbáyé, kí wọ́n gbọ́, kí wọ́n mọ̀ wípé Yorùbá sọ wípé òmìnira Yorùbá 2022 ó láti wá sí ìmúṣẹ. Tán bá ti gbóhùn àwa 5 million tá a sign, wọ́n ti rí pé kò kí ń ṣe rọ́, pé a fẹ́ ní tòótọ́ ni. Kò dẹ̀ ṣe pé èèyàn kankan fẹ́ fún èèyàn kankan lówó. Ó ń láti wá láti inú wa ni. Ó ń láti jẹ́ nǹkan tá a fẹ́, nǹkan tó wù wá, wípé nítòótọ́ àti lódodo a fẹ́ òmìnira. So a ń láti ṣe voluntarily, láti inú, láti ọkàn wa. So pé èèyàn kan fẹ́ sanwó fún èèyàn kan àbí èèyàn kan fẹ́ fún èèyàn kan lówó, ìyẹn ò ṣẹlẹ̀ o. A ń láti ṣe láti inú wa ni. So ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe ní kíákíá. Bàbá ṣe wá ṣe kó yára sí, òun náà ni òmìnira yẹn ṣe máa yára sí. Tó ta bá ṣe eléyìí, ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ ìgbésẹ̀ tá máa fi ṣe pé a ṣe referendum ní eléyìí ò kì í ṣe referendum eléyìí ohun ní petition láti fún àgbáyé pé nítòótọ́ àmì nẹ̀ ó dá wa lójú àfọkànsí a ní ìgbàgbọ́ nínú ẹ̀ wípé Yorùbá máa dá dúró so eléyìí ló máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìrìn àjò tá máa fi ṣe referendum tí a máa fi dá dúró táyé máa fi mọ̀ wípé yes Yorùbá dá dúró peacefully la máa ṣe and I expect interference from anybody from any government from any nation kò gbọdọ̀ sí interference láti actualize it so we expect that nobody will interfere see our right to self-determination Yorùbá nation òmìnira Yorùbá independent Yorùbá nation sovereign Yorùbá nation 2022 bó dẹ̀ ṣe máa rí nìyẹn ní agbára Ọlọ́run kí ló bá wa dé bí báyìí gbogbo wa la mọ̀ nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ mo ti ṣàlàyé yẹn tẹ́lẹ̀ lórí bí àwọn amúnisìn Great Britain ṣe wá sílùú sí entity tó ń pè ní Nigeria tó jẹ́ pé ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ ló bá everybody Yorùbá ọ̀tọ̀ Biafra ọ̀tọ̀ Ogoni ọ̀tọ̀ Nupe ọ̀tọ̀ Hausa ọ̀tọ̀ everybody ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ ni but for their own economic interest wọ́n amalgamate everybody without even thinking about the right and the future and the progress and development gbogbo àwa tá wà nínú bẹ̀ so àsìkò ti tó tẹnu wa tá máa fi sọ pé a fẹ́ òmìnira wa kí ló gbé wọn débi resources gbogbo nǹkan tó lọ́n fún wa tó lè dówó tó lè dọ́là láti máa continuously máa jí resources wa wọ́n ní power báwo wọ́n ṣe get power wọ́n lo slavery láti maintain slavery corruption wọlé láti corruption poverty dé poverty underdevelopment láti underdevelopment hopelessness dé in hopelessness yẹn lẹ ti máa rí divide and rule ibẹ̀ lẹ ti máa rí fear ibẹ̀ lẹ ti máa rí suicide ibẹ̀ lẹ ti máa rí oríṣiríṣi nǹkan tó ń pa ẹ̀mí àwọn èèyàn dànù lẹ máa rí àwọn tó láwọn ṣe ritual lóríṣiríṣi all sort of things ẹ pé kò yẹ kétí gbọ́ kò yẹ kẹjú rí kò yẹ kẹnu sọ nọ́dà hopelessness nìyẹn nǹkan tó wà lẹ́sìn nìyẹn adẹ̀ láti dá dúró torí tá a bá rí yẹn ní èyí báwo lọ́la ṣe fẹ́ rí nítorí náà ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká sọ́wọ́pọ̀ kí Yorùbá òmìnira Yorùbá 2022 kó wá sí ìmúṣẹ kí 5 million yìí kó pé kó dẹ̀ tún lé ní kíákíá bá a bá ṣe kó yá sí òun náà ní ìrìnàjò ẹ̀ láṣẹ máa tètè délẹ̀ nírì sí ní ọdún yìí ní àṣẹ ti Ọlọ́run nítorí náà a ní láti reverse ẹ̀ ká gba agbára tiwa padà which is self determination tá à ń béèrè fún kí gbogbo àgbáyé kó recognize kó dẹ̀ respect ká self determination pé Yorùbá nation ó dúró so that we have control of our resources a máa ní agbára lórí resources wa so that a lè dákun àkúrò lóko ẹrú a dẹ̀ lè end poverty corruption hopelessness underdevelopment every evil tí wọ́n ti fi sí orílẹ̀-èdè wa a lè mú kúrò pẹ̀lú àtìlẹ́yìn tí Ọlọ́run pẹ̀lú agbára Ọlọ́run kí gbogbo abiyamọ àgbáyé ẹ jọ̀ọ́ mo bẹ̀ yín ni ẹ bá gba àdúrà sí kó wá sí ìmúṣẹ ní kíákíá ẹ ṣé mo dúpẹ́ God bless you.
Processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. Online support products. A platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
You can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, Sendwave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use Sendwave? Sendwave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for star, R for radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about Sendwave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medase.
Check me out.
He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. Of darkness.
So what did that?
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
On your smartphone.
Well, God is working. And as I say, you might not see it. It doesn't seem, it doesn't feel. But however, I want you to be rest assured. Some way, somehow, things do take along nicely. And we get to where we want. It's now 5 minutes to the top of the hour. Let me quickly take you on a flight. A very fast, very speedy one across the globe. And then I'll be having Mr. Olayomi Koiki and Mr. Frank Davis joining in a moment. But now, a quick one.
If he said it, then he meant it. And if he meant it,
well, when it comes to the story stories making around 89,000 sign up to UK refugee sites. Those wanting to host an individual or a family from Ukraine can now register their interest online. If you have done so, kudos to you. I say well done, well done, well done. A friend in need is a friend indeed. And I think you are doing your best on that front. That's some information that came through. Zachary Radcliffe, UK's passport has been returned to her. The British Iranian woman has been detained in Iran on spying charges for more than 5 years. But unfortunately for her, this morning her UK passport has been handed over to her. So it gives a glimmer of hope that somewhere, somehow, some good news is coming our way. Or are we running, putting the horse before the cart, or the cart before the horse, whichever is appropriate? Well, West made terrible mistake after Crimea. That's what the Prime Minister is saying. Boris Johnson says the West allowed President Putin to get away with annexing the peninsula in 2014. To other parts of the world, looking at some of the other stories as well. Kyiv residential buildings hit by Russian strikes once again. 2 died in an attack on an apartment block in the capital, while a metro station was also damaged. It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Zelensky urges Russian troops to surrender. The Ukrainian president says Russians who give themselves up will be treated as people decently. Well, information coming through is that they've been picking some intel, listening in on their conversation, and I found out that some of them are saying, no, what's all this war for? I mean, why are we killing our own? Oh, well, how true is that? Is this still the propaganda? Well, yesterday, Russian journalists who protested on Russian TV has been detained. Mariana Ovzianakova, as lawyer says that he cannot find her after she held an anti-war sign on state TV. Well, it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. A lot more going to be coming your way. But on the African continent, Chad hands over former CAR militia leader to the ICC. Maxime Geoffrey Eli Mukum was the leader of the anti-Balaka group formed to rival Seleka rebels. Every little thing is gonna be. A Nigerian transport startup wins $105 million funding. Sudanese protests against hike in price of bread. The security forces fire tear gas at people protesting after bread prices shot up 40%. I may not see it. Well, once again, Somalia is to miss deadline to complete election. President Mohamed Abdullahi Farmajo was supposed to have stepped down last year. Well, he pushed it and he's still pushing it. How far will he push it? Well. One more on that. I'll continue to stay tuned and listen to us. Mozambique, Delta from Cyclone Gombe rises to 15. Militants to be reintegrated into society. That is in Nigeria. Quite an interesting one. But it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. Well, when the Speaker of Parliament decided that, well, I have some people coming in to come and just speak to me as guests, and I thought, okay, I'm busy doing something. Why not I let my chief of staff just see them? Well, people are taking it on the round 10, saying that, well. In what capacity is Kofi Ato acting? Well, let me tell you, he's acting as a deputy speaker. What do you want? Okay. I'll be looking into all that stories in a moment. It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Yesterday when I was on air, that time, the road accident over the weekend in Ghana was appalling. Number of people who lost their lives in various, about 3 or 4 accidents that took place. And I say people are not angry enough when it comes to that country. I mean, when it comes to LGBTQI++, which will not give them any money or anything, they were so angry about that. Yeah, that is good. But when it comes to you losing your lives, they are saying, oh, it's cool. And because when you gather on the bus or the coach or whatever, you say a word of prayer. And when you are able to get to your destination, then you say, thank God. What kind of people are we? Well, I think that if they have to be angry, it is time for them to be very angry. Well, this is a lot we're going to be looking at. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. It's 1 minute after 11. Enjoy the rest of the music, and we'll be having Miss Olayomi Koiki joining in. Join Dr. Olusola One Ilana, UK coordinator, as he hosts Alana Emeritus Professor Banji Akintoye during the Ileana UK chapter town hall via Zoom. Friday, 19th of March 2022, an announcement, a special one coming all the way from the Ododuwa group. Okay. Once again, welcome to the program. Don't you go away. Just stay glued to your sets. Share the broadcast though. Thank you very much.
Me say, everything is gonna be alright. Every little thing is gonna be alright now. Everything is gonna be alright. Every little thing is gonna be alright. My God is not a liar. He should lie for the Son of Man that he should repent. Tell him if he said it, then he meant it. And if he meant it, he would do it.
This is so real.
I may not see it.
The best radio show.
My God is working.
On your smartphone.
Working every day, every hour. Working, everything is working. Everything is working. Working out for my good. Working out for my good. Everything is working. Everything is working.
This is so real.
Working out for my good.
On your smartphone.
I will keep holding on. Hey, holding on. And I will keep moving on. Moving on. Said I will keep holding on. Holding on. And I will keep moving on. Moving on. Something I may not see it.
Let me say a special good morning to Amayo Jergene. Amayo, how are you doing? And thank you very much for joining us as well. Whilst we wait for Mr. Olayomi Koiki to join in, I've got Mr. Frank Davis in the house, and let's go straight to him and say, Frank, massive good morning to you.
Good morning and good morning to our listeners, wherever they are. A very special good morning to you. Good morning to our brothers and sisters who are fleeing the war in Iraq, in Nigeria, in Ukraine. Because as we speak, Archie, people are being killed in Ukraine, but a lot of people are also being killed in Nigeria. So we cannot lose sight of what is happening in Nigeria. I saw a video yesterday when someone was praying. He said, it's a funny one. It was like, the way we go to church these days, say, let's pray for Ukraine. Let's pray for Ukraine. So she was committing, let's pray for Ukraine. And well, like, even in war, people can still get water. Even in war, people can still, their rules are okay. Even in war, apart from light being cut, then generators are still providing. We are not in war. We have to go and queue for fuel. We have to.
No, maybe not in war. Their situation is worse off than those who are
the way she put it, even in war, people can still get food because people are helping them. We have been killed over here for years and no one is coming to our aid. Praying for Ukraine is like miss. tweets directly that Nigerians need more prayer than the Ukrainians. And Twela just says you begin to see the wisdom in what you say. It might sound funny, people might think it's insensitive, but you know, she has a lot of point.
Yeah. How are you doing?
Actually, I'm doing very well. I'm doing very well. The Ukraine issue again, we've been following it, and it's all about the hypocrisy of the West that we sometimes look back and say the world can be different if and only if people can be truthful.
Okay, now we're going to be coming on that. We're going to be looking at the protest that took place on air in Russia and the consequences of that, and as to whether the information that the Ukrainians are picking or listening in on the conversation of the Russian troops, how truthful is that? We'll be looking into all that. And so we'll be going straight to him for the updates from Nigeria, and then after that we'll go into all the other discussions that we have to bring you today. But still, God is working. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time down to 6 minutes past the top of the hour. It is the Tuesday edition of the morning show. Today is the 15th of March, the year 2022. And we have no other one but Mr. Olayomi Koiki, who has joined us to bring you updates from Nigeria. And let me say, Yomi, good morning.
Well, it is a very good morning to you back in the studio. Good morning to you, Frank. Good morning to all our presenters, and most importantly, all our listeners that are all sat down from all over the world. I can tell you with the connection on the other extension here, both on different platforms, on Instagram, they're listening, on Twitter, on the MixLR, and most especially on the Starr Radio UK apps, where we're ready to go again this morning. And I say, welcome again to the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London.
How are you doing, sir, and how is the family?
Well, as usual, you know, it is getting brighter looking at the window. The family, like I always say, are doing very well. We can only hope, just like Frank said, the rest of our family, because every African country is our family, but most of them are not in very good condition. And that is why we're here this morning again to talk about almost everything having a big impact to those back home.
Well, as Yomi will say, somebody put on the platform, it said, may Nigeria not happen to you. What is happening in Nigeria today?
Well, before we go into what is happening, maybe we might want to listen to one of the prophets that released a video. Just about 1:41 is what listening to before we go into the conversation.
Believe that what you are about to see in Nigeria is a whirlwind of God who is going to start to discredit your political system. Within the next 10 months, the Lord says that your political leaders will be exposed and discredited. And the Lord says He will discredit their morality, He will discredit their integrity, He will discredit their financial dealings, He will discredit their lifestyle choices, and He says, watch as I bring a sustained humiliation to the system of leadership within this nation. And the Lord says, I will agitate and convulse and shake and show my power, for I am going to bring a chaos war where I whirlwind them out of their feet. The Lord says,
yeah, go on.
The Lord says, if I come with a discrediting Nahum chapter 1 whirlwind, you must have dealt with Leviathan, or Leviathan will retake back the leadership of Nigeria, but you know it is 7 times worse at that point.
That is Emma Starr Starr is an Irish prophet known around the world for her authority and authenticity, a fourth-generation Bible teacher. She communicates with the rare clarity, humor, and Celtic boldness. Let me say this is not the first time that we are saying, I've only saw this coming out of Nigeria, but there's been a lot of prophecy from different people in Nigeria that is saying that there will be a crisis within now and the 2023. It can be averted only if the politician will listen. When this video came up to me about yesterday, it already said the same thing. There's so many prophecy, but if we leave prophecy alone, the late Dr. Malafia did say, this year is the year where a civil war might engulf Nigeria based on some of the intelligence that they had. I was able to interview one of the wives, the closest wife that was with MK Abiola. MK Abiola was the one that was killed after the 1993 election that was not given to him. The wife that was with him during that process, she's now part of the self-determination movement. I had a 3 hours interview with her. We might bring her on Starr Radio UK very soon. Some of what she said yesterday is just still linking itself together. Do we see crisis in APC? Osibajo might be contesting for the presidential election. That means he's going to be challenging the leader of the APC that says, I am the kingmaker, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. This is Starr Radio UK. It is the finest. You can't just miss the morning section with myself, Frank and Archie, and the rest of our presenters are joining. I come back again slightly to you back in the studio.
Well, listen, it's quite an interesting prophecy. We're going to be coming on that first before we go on the update. But let me acknowledge Amaya. Amaya says that, in fact, the situation in Nigeria is so disheartening and had never been this bad. Yeah. That's how he's looking at it. And he said, I always ask, how did we get here? Yeah. Do we not see, or did we not see the red flags, the signs, the telltale signs? Didn't we see that this, we are, virtually luring ourselves or getting ourselves into the ditch that we could do something about it? But well, we've got Frank here as well. Now, Frank, I know you're a faith person, okay? Yeah. Now, I've been at a place, we've spoken, people have spoken, and we've seen what prophecies, come to pass, things that people have said. Okay, predictions, let me call it that way. Now, this prophecy, how do you see it?
Well, if you call them predictions, a lot of Christians will not agree with you. Once they call it prophecy, let's stick to your prophecy.
Okay, prophecy.
Actually, my understanding is that everything that she said over here is not a prophecy for me.
Okay. You see that the reality or what?
No, it's something that is happening already.
Okay.
If you talk of that leaders are going to be exposed. Leaders not exposed about their hypocrisy in Nigeria. That they promise one thing, they are delivering something
else.
When Buhari was coming, didn't we see? Osibajo, didn't we see that he was just put there to get a Christian vote and he's behaving as fake more than the word fake? So for me, the chaotic situation that we're seeing in Nigeria now, I don't think it should get even worse. So if we say we're going to see a chaotic situation, we're basically assuming that Nigeria is as fine as it could be today. Okay. And that we are not designing. But as we speak now, Nigeria, and like most African countries, Nigeria in particular, is in crisis.
Yeah.
A nation where we have bandits murdering, slaughtering,
ravaging like no man's business
on a daily basis. That people are pulled from their homes, slaughtered on the streets, and the security scene. What again do we expect? So if we then pray, let's pray against a prophecy that bad things are happening, then probably you are blind. Because at the end of the day, it is happening. So anyone sitting here now thinking that let's pray against what is about coming, we are not solving the problem. Because if we don't solve today's problem, then we'll get to what is about coming. But everything that she said over is already happened. So for me, this is we are living through it. This is not prophecy for me. In my view,
see that it's real. We are already there.
What did she say over here that we are not experiencing in Nigeria today?
Yeah.
What did we say? Buhari is dead. Picking in between his teeth in London.
Yeah.
People are being slaughtered.
Yeah.
How many times has Buhari promised that There will not be any bloodshed. People will not be killed again. But the day he promises, the following day we have bloodshed. Are you getting me? So what are we talking about? That's why it saddens my heart.
Yeah.
When I see ECOWAS leader line up condemning what is happening in Ukraine, and I mean, so
meanwhile,
the headquarters of ECOWAS, where we do have the so-called ECOWAS. We have chaotic situations over there that brothers and sisters are being killed on a daily basis. So actually, if she talks about hypocrisy, God is going to expose these people, the will is already here. The promise that we were told, were made to, or issues that were to, we'll solve this. They lied to us. We voted for them. The will is already at work. It's already blowing, and we can see the evidence.
Okay, we can see the evidence. Kofi Ali Abdul Yakin, good morning to you. He said, what a hopeless people. Okay. And then Amaya says, it's not a prophecy, but a reflection of what is happening at the moment.
That is it.
And that is exactly what Frank seemed to be saying. But we're during the course of the program, we'll be looking at the AU leaders or reps from the various countries meeting in Ghana to look at coup d'etats that is happening on the continent. We'll be looking at that. It's quite an interesting thing. Why somebody says, well, there are coup d'etats. These are the telltale signs, and people come to condemn them. And now people are meeting there. I think they all have to be arrested for coming to think about coup d'etat.
If you have a judiciary, the way they are maltreating NNAMDI KANU. Let's just the way they are maltreating him, that someone's freedom is being curtailed to the point that the security apparatus and the court system is behaving as if they've all been banded up together, glued together, and put in the executive's pocket, right? And someone angrily overthrew the government. You tell me you are meeting when you are not addressing the ingredients. It's like a soup.
Yeah.
You are pouring salt in it, sugar is coming, and the government is actually,
this soup is going to be spoiled. You're spoiling it.
The government is actually mixing bringing together all the ingredients that have in the past triggered a coup. And you can see them. And you go and meet over your video, headlines. These are headline grabbers, but they are not problem solvers.
Okay. It is Starr Radio UK. Okay, let me read one of Amayo's statements and then we'll come to Yomi. Now, he said that this government came into power through pure propaganda and fallacy, which we all agree to that. So to say that is exactly what is happening. But listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. With me in the studio here, Mr. Frank Davis. In our North London studios, Mr. Olayomi Koiki, who will be bringing you more of the other stories making the rounds. Over to you, Yomi.
Well, it's not going to be as easy in the next 12 days with the APC convention, hold forms as the governors are all divided. Also with the PDP, which you're going to be talking more as well, it doesn't seem to be going one with them very good as well, as there's now verbal war between Wike, the River State governor, and Obaseki. I mean, my missus, my wife was watching with me yesterday, Wike speaking, and the first question is, why is he putting on these dark glasses? And I say they tend to put on dark glasses because they don't want the citizen to see into their eyeball. And it looks like somebody that have just finished taking some kind of common element of illicit drugs. And then let's come now straight to APC. We've been talking about this since last week. The president is currently not in town. The president left in the hope that things will be resolved. Hopefully, maybe before he arrives back, because we know he's now going into the second week. That is, if there is no extension of his stay here in London, because by Sunday coming will mean 2 weeks that the president is currently out. Doesn't mean that there's nobody in charge. The vice president is in charge. But what we can confirm this morning, according to information from one of the print paper in Nigeria, that the vice president, Yemi Osibajo, that has been with the government since 2015 when they came on the mantle of change, might also be putting his head into the ring, as he has informed his superior that he will be contesting for the presidential election. What and how is this going to happen in terms of a union that have brought them together? Remember that the kingmaker that called himself the kingmaker, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the former governor that even the daughter was saying from the headline, the ex-governor Tinubu's daughter says Tinubu was sick for some time, vehicles do break down. So that means it's telling Nigerians that yes, we know that vehicle breaks down and sometimes you're going to have to take it to the MOT, and that is why Tinubu was outside the country for almost a month here in London, in America, taking treatment. Is now fit, according to the daughter. At the different period last year, Tinubu traveled abroad for different medical treatment in various reports. So now we have this loghead. If Osinbajo will be contesting as well with Tinubu, we're also getting information that Jonathan might be crossing to APC. Where does the ticket lies is the question, in the heart of millions of those that still want Nigeria to have the 2023 election. Because we've got to continue to say that not everybody at this stage, at this hour, do want a Nigeria anymore, because we know the Biafrans want a self-determination out, a peaceful mission. Likewise, the Yoruba people that are also demanding that 12 days to the National Convention of the APC, All Progressive Congress, the ruling party has failed to sell forms to aspirants, while the committee set up by the APC to ensure that the convention moves smoothly have failed to begin sitting. So we're going to have to monitor and see that. Remember, I told you when I came back in February that APC might eventually break into a couple of political parties before even the convention, or maybe after the convention. We see how that goes. Let's go to ASU.
Now, before we go to ASU, Yomi, yes, apologies. Now, Tinubu, Osinbajo, who is the vice president, has thrown his hat into the ring for it. I mean, had this announcement.
He hasn't officially declared, but there's an indication that might be coming, because he needs to do so in time before the convention.
Okay, and then, but we know that Tinubu is saying that he is going to vie for it.
The national leader has already put his head,
his hat in the ring. Okay, so now when it comes to the formation of the APC, now which parties? Where does Tinubu come from? Is it from which faction?
It was from the southwest, with the same as Osinbajo. So Tinubu literally came out of the AD union that brought that union, that formation, to the APC that we are not talking today. So Tinubu was the former governor. Osinbajo worked as one of the the chief justice during Tinubu tenure as 8 years in governor. People believe that Osinbajo should be the boy for Tinubu, because Tinubu is the kingmaker. But he has said, as a kingmaker, I can also be the youth, because he's calling himself the youth at 69. And people have to wait after he has become the president, if they have any interest, which he would then hand over to the followers, or to the person that has the biggest follower after he has done his own term.
I think Tinubu held Tinubu Supporters Union. Yeah, even held a program in London that was on Friday over the weekend. I chanced on a video like that. My only worry, inter-party competition is good for the party. So it's good that he's a vice president, doesn't mean that he should be allowed automatic slot. That's Osinbajo. Yeah. And being the chairman of the party, that also doesn't mean that Tinubu should also be given automatic. So it's good that they'll go and file for competition. The only worry I do have is that the chairman of the party has a lot of say when it comes to administration of the political party. Now, the administration of the political party determines how candidates are elected. So if it is someone, an ordinary person, anyone office holder within the party that is trying to contest, I do not have a problem. But for the chairman of the party, someone will say, well, the vice president also has influence and constituents and has a lot of resources as he disposes that he might want. But where does Buhari stand? Who does Buhari support? Yeah, that is that is another question. A lot of people will think, or a lot of people have been saying, Osinbajo was brought in as an outsider into the party as not a true party person. Probably that's why they want to put a true party person over there. But let the game play out. I mean, for the Nigerians, I think this is good news, because a lot of information that you'll be wanting to hear will be coming out between the party discussion. For example, we're going to be accusing the others of it. So that is where Nigerians need to take their pens and paper and mark them.
Well, while they're marking them, well, I might just say that Wike, Obaseki, Tinubu, Atiku, rat, cat, dog, sheep, cow. They are all birds of the same feathers. And then he goes on, it's all ranting, not because they love the masses, but protecting their looting.
Yes.
I mean, that's peculiar to African leaders.
Yeah.
That's all they do, just protecting their looting or adding some more to it. That seems to be what they are going to be doing.
Even one of the governor in the Kitty State Southwest sleeps in Abuja, return back in the morning.
Oh, wow.
What? He
lives. The governor of the state. Yeah, he lives in Abuja and fly back on his helicopter before 6:30, in the morning.
Is it because of insecurity or because he's got so much money?
Who pays for that? Who pays for that?
Well, the state pays for it, and that's why a commentator says Nigeria is not a nation by Adeni Jimo.
No, so you mean that the taxpayers should pay for the helicopter for him to enjoy a lifestyle that is not a servanthood lifestyle, but that of a keen lifestyle.
Well, I mean, you only need to see the lifestyle of some of these politicians, and you'll understand, that like you always say, prayer won't solve this problem. People, Obasanjo have said it all: slug it out, push them out. They are not going anywhere, and it is entirely up to the masses to rise up. He hasn't said anything violent, but you must push them out to get Nigeria going. For those that believe in one Nigeria. Well,
as to whether when the election takes place, we are going to vote as per, people that we really trust that they have got good policies that's going to help us, or because of what has been given to us, we're going to vote along those lines because we are impoverished.
Actually, you see, the voting, we are assuming that we are people who are not born bad. I was telling you someone yesterday that even before we are birthed, majority of us are born bad. Even our sperms are contaminated before we are born. Because at the end of the day, look, they're going to finish voting. There's another ballot box somewhere.
Stuffed in.
They will deploy the military. The voting, the will of the people that has been expressed will be swapped.
Yeah.
Why didn't we see in the last election when the INEC officials refused to publish it? Look, it is 145, 245 over here. They will add one and make it 1,145, and this one they will even reduce it and make it 25. Are you getting? So there are people amongst us that, I'm not saying I'm perfect, that morality doesn't count. They fear no God. All they do, they are born bad and sperm contaminated, and if it comes in contact with a contaminated, poisonous political system, then
it turns to a nuclear weapon.
It's a weapons of mass destruction, destroying lives, creating diseases, creating impoverished people, depriving us of common food, common water, and a piece of mind. There are people who wake up, Archie, all they think about where's the next meal coming from. How are they going to feed their days in? It came to, look, the day I read a story from I think that was not in Nigeria, but another African country, where a mother has to pretend to be cooking.
Put stones in the saucepan and then put water.
Put water in it. Pretending to be cooking and preparing food, knowing that with time the kids will fall asleep.
And then
actually, that for me,
that desperation.
Actually, that for me, it defines it all. If the people we have are not witches and wizards who cannot see this and correct it, I think even white witches will be better. Let's bring them on. South African brooms.
Yes, fly on them. Well, listen, this is Starr in the UK, 11:28 the time. Let's go back to Yomi. Amaya says, all ranting, not because they love the masses. Okay, I think I've read that one already. But ASU, we have now parents who are begging ASU that, hey, please go back. And government is saying that, you know what, we've met our deal. I mean, our side of the deal, we've met it. Have they?
Well, just as concerned as so many parents, I say good morning to Olayomi that says good morning to Starr Radio UK, Frank, Archie, and Olayomi Koiki. Good morning to Ade, Sean Timothy that is listening all the way in Abeokuta in Ogun State, and the rest that are listening across, the Nigeria in Southwest, the North, and the Southeast as we speak this morning. Yes, the headline says ASU extends strike to May. Parent is begging. Federal government says demands are met. So what is actually going on? This has been going on now for some time, but it looks like 26th of March if care is not taken. The Parent Teacher Association of Nigeria has now also appealed to the federal government and likewise the academic staff union of the university to, as a matter of urgency, resolve the issues leading to ASU strikes so that students can go back to school. This is coming from the president of the PTA. Danjuma Aruna said an additional 2-month strike would have devastating implications on the education sector. That then also take us slightly into, as passengers are now stranded in most of the airport, the reps is now intervened. Likewise, the NNPC. The headline reads, reps, NNPC intervene as flight cancellations leave passengers stranded. Why are they stranded? The jump in the cost of aviation to bind kerosene, popularly called aviation fuel, has resulted in overcrowded airport as airline reschedule, cancel flight at short notice, leaving passengers stranded. The development came as the House of Representatives on Monday continued its intervention in the aviation fuel crisis as the federal government, the airline operators, oil marketers agreed to peg off the commodity at 500 naira per litre pending the resolution. Some has been buying them in terms of the black market for diesel at about 750, while the cost of the PMS known as petrol continue to rise as well. So let's touch more on the other headline. Come back again to you in the studio. This is still Starr Radio UK at exactly 11:31 a.m. this morning, the 15th of March 2022. Like I did say, the election that is coming, and likewise those that still want the self-determination. How the disgraced DCP Abubakar Kyari illegally took over slain suspect properties. Like I said yesterday, I'm not sure how Abba Kyari is going to eventually get out of this mess with a lot of, drug peddling, is needed in America, and then we continue to monitor, the situation as well. Let's go straight now to some other headline as we continue. Again, we do know that the National Assembly kills bills compelling political offices holders to vacate seats after defection as well. We're going to go straight into the social media this morning while we look at what is trending this morning on all the social media on Nigeria as well. Nigeria should have negotiated benefit before condemning the Russian invasion of Ukraine. This is coming from Reno Omokiri, we could have made Putin put in something in our kitty. If he refuses, then we ask the West what they can give us. Sentiment are for Wudon Bilefo. Indian negotiated well. So we do know that we have quite a lot of our relationship with Russia as Nigeria. There's a huge amount of almost close to $1 billion naira trade between Russia. The most important one is the wheat that comes in, and if you remember yesterday, we talked about the Bakers Association that are saying that they might also be going on strike. They were complaining more because of the the cost of the diesel to run their businesses, because we know most Nigerians have been struggling. And that will quickly maybe just take us to one headline, a total blackout. When we called the situation with electricity in Nigeria, this was news that was coming from yesterday after we left the morning section, and it goes like this: a nationwide blackout, and the reason for that is the grid has collapsed again. It will not be the first time that this is happening. The national power grid collapsed yesterday, causing a nationwide outage as the entire system crashed due to the loss of 1,100 megawatt from 3,700 megawatt peak generation earlier recorded. This was just as airline operator in Nigeria yesterday warned that they have only 3 days left to shut down operation over lingering of scarcity of. So you can see it's like I keep saying, it's like a pressure cooker. Everything is just coming out, and it seems the government is losing track. For the power sector, as at yesterday afternoon, the system was yet to pick up load, according to the grid operation reported. I don't know what the current situation is as at this morning, but according to what we know, the Minister of Power, Mr. Abubakar Liu, called an emergency meeting yesterday to resolve all the outstanding issues with the stakeholders in the Nigerian electricity supply industry as a result of the worsening power situation. According to the grid, which we can say a little bit, there's about 25 gencos on the grid. 19 were producing power as of 8 a.m. when the grid at about 3,869 megawatts. But that began to reduce gradually until it dropped to about 2,761 megawatt by 10 a.m. yesterday, after 6 gencos went down, leaving just 13 before crashing to zero at about 10:40 a.m. So you could see that a lot of this situation, is what a lot of Nigerians are more concerned when it comes to the current present situation in Nigeria. So let's go back again slightly more to the social media and read more of what is trending on Nigeria this morning on Star Radio UK. Simon Ekpa, from today, the 15th of March 2022, the liberation of the Biafra from Nigeria has begun. Going forward, if the Nigerian Boko Haram control army kill our women and children or burn our communities like they have done almost daily basis for the past year, it will be met with consequences. So you can see that there's a lot of tension, in the southeast. We do know that there's a military, present heavily. And there's so many reasons for that, because the Nigerian government believes that the unknown gunmen atrocity that they're pinning to the IPOB are denying that is going to do with the politician using that to and without evidence, because one of the governor in Southeast did say so, that the unknown gunmen are not the IPOB. These are the other political party trying to destabilize. And I think this was the Imo State Governor Uzodimma that said so, last year as well. Let's touch more on some of the other headlines from the social media this morning. Quite a lot of pressure. I'm looking at Debo Macaroni, a very popular public figure. During the NSAS, he was almost stripped naked, as those that was present on the ground. I once again urge the federal government of Nigeria, this is coming from his Twitter handle 2 hours ago, to do everything possible to settle with ASU. Nigerian students should not continue to suffer like this. Please stop playing games with the education and the future of Nigerian students. They deserve better. I'm going to take 2 more. Ifa Funsho at Funsho Graphics, Nigerian constitution was written based on corruption, not progress. The amalgamation of the 1914 was based on corruption, not progress. The only thing uniting Nigeria is corruption, not progress. That is why they can't trace billion to ordinary cop like Abba Kyari account, but also is on strike. Remember yesterday the wife collapsed during the hearing for a bail application for Abba Kyari. About 4 billion naira was traced to his account from 2019 up to date, with 8 different accounts. And the last one from Aye Mujuba. Everything is on the verge of collapse in Nigeria, yet Buhari is in UK enjoying himself for 2 weeks, and many of you still rooting for another 70 plus and athlete fellows like him because of personal gain. Suffer, no they tire Nigerians. That is about it. Let me come back again to you in the studio because of time constraint. It is Starr Radio UK, the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London at 11:38 a.m.
Yes, listeners, Mr. Olayomi Koiki in our North London studios bringing you updates from Nigeria. And let me sincerely apologize for the work that is going on in the North London studios, because we've got the able assistant trying to pull all the strings and making sure that things work perfectly there. So, baby Koiki, thank you very much for that good work that you are doing. But before I go to Frank for any reaction to what Yomi has said there, I might also say it's Nigeria coexistence and bond seized in 2014. Break it up. He goes on further to say power will never be stable in Nigeria because the cabals are the major importers of alternative sources, and we've talked about that several times, because they are importing the generators and doing all that. Why would they let there be enough power from the national grid to supply everybody? And Amaya says, well, Nigeria is bad. It goes on to say it's worse, and he says it's worst. Now I said, which other word can he use to describe it? He says doom. Frank, I mean, when you listen to such situation, and I mean, how the opulence of our leaders. Now look at the fact that parents are now begging the ASU that please, lecturers, please go back. But the lecturers are saying that we're not going because if they are saying tighten your belt and we don't see them tighten their belt, rather getting an extension to their belt, then what's the point?
Actually, it's a very, very difficult situation, and I think we do have three problems that, in my view, are the genesis of some of these things. One, the inactiveness of we, the citizens. I say this because a lot of us, we talk about politics, we talk about leadership, we comment on our leaders, but we do not take active responsibility for what they do. Which means that when it comes to even elections at the local level, you believe in ideology or you believe that one party will do better, we sometimes wait for political parties to come to our doorsteps, sometimes bribe us to go and vote. My view is that if we do complain today, and we've been complaining over the years, we still have the problems we have today because we have actively not participated enough. Own the process, own the system, and take matters to our own hands. And look, I want this situation to change. 1,000 people within my neighborhood, 2 miles to my left, 2 miles to my right, I am going to, as a way of making a difference, knock on their door. Discuss with them the problems that we face as a people. And when it comes to election, even at the local level, we all demand what we want and vote for people who represent our views. And again, ensure that when they are in power, we actually check on them. That has to come from local level. Two, the tribal sentiments that we do have gone to a point where they are now becoming a force for evil. It should be a beautiful thing, but they're becoming a
Frank, just hold on for a minute. I think Yomi has to take his leave, so let's quickly come to him for him to round up what he's saying, and then we continue with our conversation. So hold in there. Yeah, Yomi.
Well, again, we'll be back again same time. I'd like to say thank you to all our listeners as far as Dublin, Mrs. Grace Olushoto, and the rest of the globe from Malaysia to Australia. Stay tuned with Frank and Archie to take you through the rest of the program. I'll be on again same time tomorrow. Have a very good morning and bye for now.
Okay, thank you very much, Yomi. Have a good day. Now, listeners, it's Starr Radio UK. I've got Mr. Frank Davis here. Let now continue with your submission there.
To some extent, I do believe that the tribal sentiments are out because within political parties, we organize them based on tribal lines. I'm not saying tribe ethnicity is bad. It's good. It's something that we should appreciate. But when we get to a point where the organization of what we do is influenced, we lack so much by tribalism. So, okay, Professor Lumumba says something, this is our thief, and we support our thief. We're talking about electricity. We're talking about power generation. We're talking about how cabals over the years have succeeded in controlling the market to a point that they do not want one oil refineries to function because at the end of the day, they want their cronies to be licensed to bring imports. At the same time, they do not want the power supply to stabilize because that will collapse a generator's business. Do not forget, the more generators you have apart from my neighbor, the more fuel diesel that we use. And therefore, that link between the business elite who control those markets, you can see clearly. In my view, we have not done enough to be able to confront these people. Actually, we say democracy is good, but democracy, the way we've organized it, is not going to help us. And it's time that we take a decision as a people, as individuals, and say, okay, look, we've practiced this over the years. It's not working for us the way it should. There are cars that are manufactured for certain rules. When you put them on rugged road,
they will not
you
last.
Need to either reinforce them. That is why when you see these people who run some of these jungle cars, their cars are reinforced. You go to Africa, you see when you drive in. I had experience in Ghana like that. We're driving on a very rough road, and these taxi drivers actually will just cruise through the system. They drive with speed on those portals. And I asked the